It is Therapy Thursday here on News 9 at 4, and today we're diving into the most frequently asked questions about therapy.
Haley Jurko joins us, licensed therapist with Sunbeam Family Services, with those answers. So what are the questions that people have before they begin therapy?
Well, typically one of the hardest things to do to start therapy is to actually get your foot in the door to start, right? And that first very question is like, how do I even find a therapist for myself? And, you know, good old Google and search engines are usually one of the first things that people look up, right? And so you can always look for places that are local to you. 211 is also a great resource. You can always call them, and they will also provide services based off of your need, what it is that you're looking for, geography, preferences. Sometimes people who might have insurance, their portals can tell you about services and therapists that are covered under insurance, so you don't have to worry about how do I pay for this, right? And of course, you can always go to Sunbeam Family Services. They have our website has a way to find support too. And the last one is psychologytoday.com. That is a really big one, and you can filter based off of your need as well. So that's one of the first ones. One of the other ones too is, can you change the therapist?
Sometimes it is not a good fit.
Yeah.
Right, absolutely. And you can, because you know, not everyone is a right fit, and we want to make sure that that relationship is sound and solid to get our clients to where we want to be, right? That's obviously super important. So just because you start with one doesn't necessarily mean you're locked in with that person. And that can be a conversation to have with a therapist too. That's very important for them to know.
Is that something you see though, like where it's not a match the first go around, and sometimes it takes a couple, maybe several?
Sure. Sometimes, you know, you can start to get to know each other, because of course we don't know each other when we meet the first time, and so we build off of that. But if you're starting to notice that there's like a plateau, or it really isn't like the style of that a therapist isn't a good fit, then it's definitely okay to have that conversation and say, hey, you know what, like I appreciate this, but I'm noticing these things. Where else can I go? What else can I do?
Yeah.
Right? And that approach.
And services don't have to be long-term.
Absolutely, right? Sometimes people walk into the door and they're like, I'm here forever, which is obviously not the case as well, right? Sometimes it's super helpful to come for like 6 sessions, and those don't have to be weekly. People can space those out. People can come monthly if they need to. It's all based off of like intensity of what's going on, severity. We look at that as well, and it's always nice to have a check-in every so often to kind of have a sounding board for things that are going on in people's lives.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you ever have the one and done? Anything like that? Like where, you know, one session, like yeah,
that's what I did.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did.
Sometimes, I mean, sometimes people really do appreciate just having an outlet, a space to really process out loud to someone what's going on in their life. Of course, going more than once is always beneficial to really kind of create some consistency with that, and some maintenance, because that's super important. If you go one time, then you may always kind of come into the, like this aha acknowledgement moment, but maintaining all of those good skills are super helpful too.
Okay.
Haley, thanks for coming on today. If you'd like to learn about Sunbeam Family Services, visit their website. We have that information on our screen.